Hello guys, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto betrayed at his wedding and ran off with the bridesmaid? If you enjoy this video, then please like, share and do comment. And also check the description to original creator of this beautiful creation. So let us start the story.
Bolt, please, stay away from the edge. Hinata shouted to her older son. Mom, look, we have found an albino lizard. Bolt exclaimed while he ran back to his mother, holding a lizard by the tail. His younger sister, Himawari, were just a few steps behind. Well, that's gross. Put him away. Hinata couldn't help but smile. No, Mom, please, let's keep him. Bolt demanded, hopping on his feet with excitement. That won't do. You'll scare your sister with a pet like that. Not at all, Mommy. I also like Shiro-chan. Himawari said, smiling softly. Pleasey. Bolt begged, trying to hide his devious little smile in a candid face. Alright, let him go for now, and if he's still around by the time we leave, you can take him. Yosh, celebrated Bolt, if your father also approves. Hinata concluded. Bolt grimaced in disgust. Great, now we will never keep him. He mumbled, letting go of the lizard. What do you mean? Hinata asked, infinitely patient with her little brat. Dad is never around. Look at it. Today is Sunday, he was supposed to be with us. It's his day off. Don't be silly, Ni-san. Daddy is a very important person for the village and Uncle Shikamaru said it was an emergency. Himawari argued. It doesn't matter. It's our family picnic. How can we call it family if he's not here? But we are having fun, just the three of us, aren't we? Hinata said, picking a hand sanitizer from her basket. But you miss him too, don't you, Mom? Argued Bolt. Hinata sighed. Of course she missed him. All the time he wasn't around. And every time Shikamaru, Moegi, Shizune, Kakashi, whoever it was, interrupted their private time saying it was an urgent matter, she felt like punching them all. Of course she couldn't say that to Bolt. I understand his job as the seventh, Bolt, and my own duties as the Hokage's wife. She answered, spraying the hand sanitizer on her kid's hands. You should understand your job as his son too, Bolt, like you sister. Yeah, right, Bolt said sarcastically. Hinata sighed again. Let's eat. I brought all your favorite snacks. Bolt's mood changed instantaneously. Let's eat, let's eat. Hinata had set a towel under a frondosis tree. The three of them sat down there and ate. Himawari sat all quiet and classy like always. Bolt ate like a starving bear. Hinata had to laugh. God, you're so much like your father. She said fondly, cleaning rice off his face. We have to work on your manners or girls won't like you. It's alright. I don't like girls either, they're stupid. I'm not stupid. Himawari complained. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Right, Mommy? No, she's not. Hinata answered. Yes, you are. Kept teasing Bolt. No, I'm not. Stupid, little girl. Bolt, Himawari, cut it. Hinata asked, even if she knew it was useless. That wrangle would end with Bolt running around the field with Himawari running after him, with occasional shouts of, Baka, 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 no, I'm not, until both of them were weary. Her prevision was proved right just a minute later. After almost 1 hour of running, her kids lied down on lap and fell asleep right away. Great, how I'm supposed to carry both of you home now? She wondered, petting their hair. May I offer the pretty lady some help? Asked suddenly a voice beside her. She smiled, recognizing the sound of his voice, the chill on her spine caused by his presence, the cozy warmth of the hand which stroked her hair. Well, thank you, sir, but I should wait for my husband. Hinata answered playfully. And what kind of stupid husband would let you alone on a Sunday evening? Naruto spoke, with a slight hint of guilt on his voice. A very important, earnest, strong and compromised one, who is able to give his life for the sake of our village. Naruto chuckled. Thank you. You're welcome. Good work today. Thanks. I'm really sorry, but we had an urgent report of a shinobi who was gone in mission for 2 years. We thought he was dead, but it turned out he was abducted by some Nukanin. I had to send a. It's okay, darling. I'm not mad. I understand. And Bolt. Bolt was pretty pissed, but he had fun teasing Himawari and chasing a lizard. Naruto laughed. Lizard? Yes, they wanted to adopt that awful thing. Thank God they seem to have forgotten it. That's a shame. I would like to have a pet. Hinata smiled and leaned on him, resting her head on his shoulder. He kissed her forehead and nuzzled on Hinata's hair, delighted on that lovely sweet smell and feeling home. I think you were right, he said suddenly. Huh? Back then, on the war, when you said my life wasn't only mine. You were right. My life doesn't belongs to me, it belongs to this village. Now more than ever. Yes, I know, and I'm proud of you. I always have been. Weird girl. That was what I thought. What kind of weird, amazing, strong-willed person she is. Why does she care so much for me? It took me long enough to understand why your feelings towards me were so different from the others. He confessed. Hinata smiled. Well, let's say you were never quite brainy. Naruto playfully poked her. Come on, you. I always have loved you. All of you. Weird girl. Naruto repeated. You deserve better. Better than the 7th Hokage? I highly doubt that. Naruto couldn't held himself back and kissed her lips. Hinata responded right away, and they got lost on each other. He pulled her head closer, deepening the kiss, their hearts beating faster and faster. Wah, Dad, why are you eating Mom's face? Asked Bolt, waking up. Naruto and Hinata backed off like two teenagers caught in the act by their parents. Huh? Naruto tried to think an answer, but his daughter were faster. Ni-san no baka. They were just kissing. Ew. That's gross, he declared. Hinata and Naruto laughed. It's late already. Let's go home, she said. Get up, you two. Let Mom pick the things up. Daddy, can you carry me home? Asked Himawari, blinking her baby blue eyes. I want a piggyback, demanded Bolt. Alright, climb up, you little foxes. Let's go home. After they placed Bolt and Himawari on their beds, the couple lied on their own bed, staring at each other. I'm the luckiest man in the world. I was thinking the same thing. Stop it, I'm not the catch here. I know, that's why I was thinking. You're the luckiest man in the world. She joked. Naruto laughed. Man, I miss the shy Hinata sometimes. She smiled. Thank you. Huh? Thank you for being such a good father, husband, man, Hokage. You made my life complete. I'm the one who should be thanking you. He said, I wouldn't be who I am now if it weren't you. You gave me love, support, trust, a family. I love you very much. Hinata blushed and looked down, embarrassed. Me too. Naruto took her face on his hands and brought her eyes to his again. As I said before, my life belongs to Konoha, but my heart. My heart, it's only yours. I could never ask for more. You're gonna marry him? Really? Sai asked, shocked. Well, he still didn't ask my father, so he didn't set the date yet, but yes. Hinata answered, blushing a little. That is, supposing that Hisashi-san won't cut my head off. Naruto added, half serious. Stop it, my father likes you. Everyone on village does. Why? Asked Sai again. Won't get bored with him around all the time? Actually, why do people get married? Well, I could explain to you, but that is related with feelings, so you wouldn't get it anyway. Sakura said, smiling a bit. They were all there, reunited at a yakiniku restaurant. Tenten, Lee, Choji, Shikamaru, Ino and Sai at one side of the table and Naruto, Hinata, Sakura, Sasuke, Shino and Kiba at the other. Marriage certainly is troublesome. I have to agree with Sai this time. Shikamaru stated. It's not, said Sasuke simply, speaking for the first time since they got there. TCH. What are you saying, Teme? That you would like to get married? Mocked Naruto. Sasuke shrugged. I guess. He drank a bit of his sake, then turned his head to Sakura. Would like to? Would I like? What? Get married? Like, marrying you? That means no? No. I mean, yes. I mean, I would like to get married. Good. Sasuke spoke. Hinata was the first one to recover from the shock. Oh, my god. Congratulations. I guess that means we will both be summer brides, Sakura. She said with a smile. That was a terrible proposal, Sasuke. I made Hinata faint with mine. Naruto teased. Big deal. Mocked Kiba. Hinata used to faint by hearing your name. Kiba-kun, shut up. Hinata complained, blushing furiously as she hid her face on Naruto's shoulder. Sai were completely confused. Now Hinata and Sasuke were nuts? He already knew that Naruto and Sakura had problems, but in the middle of his wondering, Sai noticed that Ino didn't look happy at all. When she poured herself a double dose of sake, he knew that she wasn't happy. I told you, I'm fine. I am perfectly capable of going home alone. Ino objected as Sai walked her home. Even if her vision were blurry and if she couldn't walk straight, she was sure she could make it. Well, I don't care if you can go home alone or not. It's funny watch you like that. Sai answered honestly. Ino growled and tried to walk faster and that caused her to trip. Sai managed to hold her before she fell. Are you alright? He asked. She answered, feeling dizzy. Sai guided her to a guardrail nearby and sat her down there. Here, I have some water. He handed Ino a bottle of cold water. Why do you have it? The blonde asked. It's still cold, you bought on the restaurant? I read somewhere that drunk people need water. Sai answered, shrugging. I thought you might need so I bought it. Thank you. I didn't know you could be gentle. She mumbled. Sai sat down beside her. Are you sad because Sasuke and Sakura are getting married? He asked directly. Ino sighed. Yeah, you're not that gentle. She sighed again. It's not that. It's just Sasuke-kun and Sakura, Naruto and Hinata, Shikamaru and Temari. I think that even Choji got himself a girlfriend. Everything is working out for all of them and I still here, running in circles. I'm the only one who hasn't a relationship. I haven't one too. You don't have a heart. Sai frowned. I do have. Look, here. He grabbed Ino's hand and placed it over his heart. Weird enough, that made both of them feel awkward. Ino looked away, with her face burning red and Sai felt like the place had become oddly hot. Oddly good. Your heart is beating really fast. She pointed. Sai shrugged. Lately, that happens a lot when I'm with you. Ino stared at him, shocked. Huh? Yeah, I think it's weird too. My heart beats faster, my fingertips tingle and I find getting away from you extremely painful. Do you think I should go to the hospital? I think I might be allergic to girls. Ino blinked, suddenly sobering up. Does any other girl do the same things to you? No, it's just you. Sai realized. You don't even realize you just made a super confession, right? She said with smile. It was Sai who were shocked now. Did I? I see. So this feeling, it's the so-called romantic love. I get it now. That's why your face were always on my mind on weird moments. What kind of weird moments? The blonde laughed. Well, when I shower, sometimes I get. Okay, stop it. I don't need to know, in the end. Bijin-san, do you love me back? He asked simply. Ino sighed. Gee, that guy were so not romantic, not a gentleman, tactless. There would be no way that they could be the lovey-dovey couple that she had dreamed of. Even so, when he asked that to her, so frankly, so straightforward, she had no doubts when answered. Yeah, I do. Alright then, should I propose to you now? No. She laughed. You should ask me to be your girlfriend first, then we go out and if this works out, and if you feel like it, you propose. Sai placed his index finger on his chin. How should I know that this worked out and I feel like it? Well, you have to feel, in your heart, that you love me so much that you'll want to be with me forever. If we get married, it will mean that I would get to see you every day and get more of this cozy warmth I get when I'm beside you. He asked bluntly. Ino blushed. Geez, that guy, such a unconscious flirt. Yeah, it does. I see. So, let's do that. Let's get married. Ino sighed. I told you already. It's not like that. So what happens now? Ino realized that she still had her hand placed over his accelerated heart. Just, don't move, she told him. After saying that, the kunoichi leaned closer to him and snuggled up against his chest, placing her ear where her hand was before. Ino listened to the nice sound of his heartbeats and thought that it was like a lullaby. She felt like she could fall asleep right there. Bijin-san started him. Just, Ino, it's fine. She interrupted. Ino, Sai corrected. I feel weird. I want to pull you closer, but that's not even physically possible. Ino rolled her eyes and smiled gently. Put your arms around me, that must do. Sai wrapped her on his arms, hugging a bit too tight, but Ino didn't care. She felt so very protected and fulfilled there that it was like he was made for hugging her, and she was made for being in his arms. She chuckled. You know what? I want to be a summer bride too. Let's get married. She looked up to him and, for her surprise and delight, he was blushing. For the first time, she was seeing some color on his pale face. You mean it? He asked with an unusual low voice. I do. Thank you, Sai said, offering her a smile that took her breath away. Idiot. That's not what you were supposed to say. It's just that. I feel so happy, that's why I thought I should thank you. Oh, there you go again. Stop it, you smooth talker. She complained, blushing hard and punching his chest lightly. Sai took a deep breath. I always read on books that, when two people agree to get married, they should kiss. Ino looked away again. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to do it now if you don't want it. Sai held her face between his hands, forcing her to look at him. I do want to do it. May I? Why yes. And there, under the pale moonlight, sitting on a guardrail with his lips touching hers for the very first time, Sai understood why would people get married. Shikamaru exhaled in relief. Done. He had finally finished assembling the cradle of his unborn child. That's perfect. Not even her can complain now. Who can't complain? Asked Tamari, suddenly getting inside the room, holding a big glass of water, which she reached out to him. Shikamaru grabbed the glass and took a good sip, avoiding the question. Even if now, with the 32 weeks pregnancy, Tamari's mood swings had cooled down, she still was getting really emotional sometimes for no reason. If he told her he was talking about her, his kid would born fatherless. Lucky for him, Tamari was been incredibly distracted. Her attention was already on the cradle. So cute. It's perfect, babe, she said with a smile. You think? Yeah, the baby will love it. I can feel. Tamari placed her hand over the swollen belly. Shikamaru's mother, Yoshino, walked in. Oh, look, the cradle. You ass. You need to change it right away. She said. What? Why? Shikamaru exclaimed. The feng shui is all wrong. Your kid is gonna grow up stressed. Yoshino explained. Shikamaru chuckled and turned to exchange a conspiratorial look with Tamari, but his wife was looking at his mother, seeming very concerned about feng shui. Oh, no, no, no. Tamari, don't listen to her. Shikamaru, Oka-san knows more about raising a child than we do. We have to listen, said Tamari, walking in her duck-like way to Yoshino. Thank you, dear. So, as I was saying, we can't let the cradle right under the shelf. The baby will feel suffocated. And it's good to put a picture of you two over the cradle, so the kid can associate your image with comfort. Spoke his mom, non-stop. Right, I knew something was missing on the wall. Tamari agreed, putting a hand on her face and frowning. Shikamaru stared to the two women he loved, reactionless. And the door. The cradle can't stay turned back to it, because everyone will give the baby a fright when walk in. But it also can't be facing it directly, so the bad energies can reach it. So, basically, you're saying we should put it on the ceiling, right? Shikamaru asked sarcastically. And you shouldn't be act all sarcastic in your kidda bedroom, Shikamaru. Do you want to bring bad energies here? Yoshino scolded. Tamari stared at him with accusation in her eyes. And the colors. You shouldn't paint it all with just one color. Green is a good color, but it would be better if we added some lilac on the details. Yoshino kept going. Tamari kept nodding. Oh, my, Oka-san. I'm so happy for you being here. Now that you pointed it all. I feel such a bad energy here. It's oppressive, Tamari said, breathless. I know, right? Sit down, honey, I will get you a fan and water. Yoshino went out to the room. I'm so thankful for your mother. Tamari said again, as she sat down on an armchair aimed towards the cradle. Shikamaru eyed her. You can't be serious. Why? Can't you feel how heavy this bedroom is? You said it was perfect a minute ago. Well, that was before. Now even the baby is telling me that the room is all wrong. That's nonsense. What difference does it make if the cradle is under the shelf or whatever? He almost screamed. Keep your voice down. Don't bring bad. Tamari, if you say, energy, one more time. Tamari teared up. That immediately calmed him down. Shikamaru took a deep breath. Sorry, he whispered, opening his arms. She nearly ran, or waddled faster, to him. You know, just because I'm trying to be a good mom. Tamari whined on his chest. It's okay, it's okay. I know, I know. Shikamaru comforted her, petting her hair. Shikamaru. The cradle, she said. He sighed. Yeah, I get it already. I'm moving it. He let go of her and grabbed the cradle. Oh, honey. What? I would appreciate if you do not drag it. Can you use your shadows? Shikamaru sighed again. Hi, just, hi, it's good enough. Let's not teach the baby bad habits. The man though about arguing that the baby probably wasn't listening but decided it was useless. Hi, he said, creating a few shadow hands that lifted the cradle up. So where should I put it? Tamari thought for a moment. Over there, near the window. Okay. Oh, honey. He squinted his eyes. What? Please put the head of the crib against the wall, rather than lengthwise. Whatever you want. Are you being sarcastic? No. So are you unhappy? Of course not. He placed the cradle where she had told him to. Oh, see? That's way better. I can feel a lot of good energy in this bedroom, said Shikamaru's mom, coming back to the room holding out a glass of water and a fan for Temari. Her daughter-in-law took them and nodded. I think we need just a bit more of balance now. If we paint the footer and the furniture. Shikamaru stared at them again, without saying anything. He remembered the time he asked his after why in the world he had chosen someone as troublesome as Yoshino to be his wife. Shikaku had answered something about Yoshino being able to smile gently even if she was so strict. At that time, he didn't get it at all. But now, seeing Temari's face light up as she and his mother discussed about stealing energy and balance. Nope, he still thought his dad was nuts. XXXXXXXXX. Shikamaru, I'm sorry I made you change the whole bedroom. Temari said later that night. Shikamaru sighed. It's okay. That feng shui thing is important to you, right? Yeah, I get really worried when it's about choosing what's better for my baby. Shikamaru eyed her. Your baby? Okay, our baby. Shikamaru yawned. It was close to midnight and that woman wasn't even sleepy. Pregnant women weren't supposed to fall asleep all the time? And I was thinking, that's great, but can we hold this conversation until tomorrow morning? Unlike you, I've spent the whole day dragging a cradle around. Even in the dark, he saw her eyes get wider. You dragged it? Shikamaru, that is so not shui. The bad energies. Shikamaru wrapped the pillow around his ears. Please, Temari, tomorrow we can get a priest to exorcise the bedroom, an obedientiary. We can get even that Jashinist dude if you want. But, please, let's just go to sleep now. Okay, sorry. She agreed. Thank you. After a moment. Oh, honey. Yes, Temari? What is a Jashinist? Temari. Oh, right. Sorry. Go to sleep. Another moment later. Oh, honey. Yes? He sighed. Nothing. Go to sleep. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. It's just. No, forget it. Geez, Temari. Just say it already. Well, I'm starving and I think the baby is hungry too. Could you? Shikamaru was already out of bed. Understood. A sandwich is fine? Yes, it's perfect. Thank you, babe. Shikamaru waved before leaving the bedroom. So the baby can't learn bad habits, like sarcasm, but midnight snacks are okay? He wondered to himself while prepared the sandwich. He was so sleepy that almost chopped his finger off while sliced the bread, but managed somehow to prepare a decent snack. Shikamaru put on a plate then went back to the bedroom. Hey, Temari, we're out Chisai. He stopped talking when saw that his wife was completely asleep. The shinobi sighed heavily and placed the plate at the bed table before lying down beside her. For a second, he thought about waking Temari up, but her sleeping face was so lovely and calm that he just couldn't. You know, he thought to himself, I think Oldman's insanity was hereditary. Still completely asleep, Temari grabbed his hand and nuzzled on it. Shikamaru, I love you. She breathed in her sleep. Shikamaru was forced to smile. He pulled her closer and closed his eyes, ready to, finally, sleep. Troublesome woman. Oh, I can't get in here, said Omoi, stopping suddenly at Konoha's gates. Karui, who was just a couple steps behind him, bumped against his back. Gee, Omoi, don't stop all of suddenly, she complained, massaging her nose. I can't get in this village. If I do, I'm sure I will meet a girl who will fall deeply in love with me and will die of solitude when I have to leave. Karui sighed. You said that the last time? But this time, I'm sure. Samui stared at them. Cut it out. We're here just to deliver Reikage-sama's message, then we'll come back. No one will fall in love with any of you. I didn't say so. Karui complained, getting another stare as response. They kept walking. Oh, hey, you guys are? Said Ino, appearing to greet them. Oh, no, there she comes. Wailed Omoi. I'm sorry, miss, but I won't be prudent if I accept your feelings. Ino blinked, confused. Sorry, what? Just ignore him, like I do. Said Samui. I suppose you're here to guide us to the Hokage? Yes, answered Ino, still frowning. Please, follow me. Ino led them through the city streets, in walking pace. Karui noticed that the main avenue of the village was full of tents being assembled and balloons being blown. Are you having a festival? She asked. Yes, it's our summer festival. The whole village is really excited about it. The long-haired blonde answered. You guys should stay for a while and enjoy it. If I stay, even more young ladies will fall for me and Konoha's men will chase me out of anger. After I defeat them, I will have left many casualties in an ally village. That's so not happening, Omoi. Karui interrupted. They had already got to the 6th office. Yo! The Hokage saluted, waving at them. Kakashi was sitting behind his desk, in his Hokage's cloak. Shikamaru and Choji were there too, seeming like they were reporting. 6th Hokage, we have a message for you from Raikage-sama, said Samui, bowing a bit. Oh, right, Omoi, give him the scroll. The leader ordered. Omoi handed the scroll to Kakashi. It's this year's master plan? Already? The Hokage exclaimed. Yes, we are supposed to deliver a copy of our master plan to the other 4 countries. You remember that, right? Said Shikamaru with a suspicious look to Kakashi. I might be a little behind schedule. All the 6 young shinobis there frowned. But fear not, I will have already delivered you guys what I'm supposed to by tomorrow. I guess. Oi, 6th, you're gonna make them wait until tomorrow? Have you even started to write the master plan? Ino said. Who? No, that's why. Shikamaru, I can't help you. I'm babysitting Aiko-chan today. Shikamaru spoke, before Kakashi could even request his help. Bring her with you. No, I won't make a kid stay here with us just because you are terrible with deadlines. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Shikamaru didn't like it. The other mission would be escorting our guests around the village. Actually, I was thinking about making you the personal escort for Samui-san, at today's Matsuri. Shikamaru shrugged. Okay, I think it's better. I would take Aiko-chan to the summer festival anyway. Isn't a certain blonde kunoichi coming from Suna to the summer festival especially? Would she like to know that you rather bail on her to escort another girl than helping me a bit? Kakashi asked with an evil glimpse on his eyes. Shikamaru froze. You are not a very fair Hokage. He said, whatever, I'm going to pick Aiko-chan up. He left through the window. Kakashi turned to Ino and Choji. Alright, so, if none of you have jealous lovers, and I'm pretty sure you don't, you two are responsible for making sure our guests are comfortable. Omoi made a dramatic gesture. Oh, no. Miss, please don't. Ino punched his face hard. Omoi fell on the ground, unconscious. He's comfortable. This wood floor it's pretty cozy, she said. Samui stared at her. That was a great punch. No one saw it coming. Thanks. It's something you learn after spending your life surrounded by idiots. Ino answered. Sometimes I feel like punching people. Samui said simply. Do you feel like punching people now? Because there will be a long punch competition on tonight's Matsuri. We can subscribe you, if you like. Ino proposed. What's a long punch competition? Well, you punch someone really hard and we measure the distance to where they landed. It's that even legal? I don't know. Wanna join? Sure, why not? The 2 blondes walked away, talking lively. The Hokage turned to Karui and Choji. You two should go too. Go, have fun, kids. Hi. So, Karui-san, let's go? Spoke Choji noticeably uncomfortable. Sure, she answered. They went out as well. When they were on the street, Karui smiled a bit. You know, your cage it's a little weird. Yeah, but he's a nice guy. And a great shinobi. Where we are going? She asked. It depends on Karui-san. What do you want to do? Well, hey, how do you know my name? Choji frowned. I think I learned it on war. I remembered your eyes, they're quite remarkable. Karui blushed. Thank you. It was Choji turn to blush. He hadn't realized what he said. So, what do you want to do? Not sure. What you had in mind for today? Yakiniku, he said honestly. Karui laughed. It sounds great. XXXXXXXXX. Hey, Choji-kun, what's that? Asked Karui while they walked down Konoha Main Street after eating all yakiniku they could. Oh, the goldfish scooping stall? It's a traditional silly game, you never tried it? We don't have festivals back home, so I don't know much about them. She confessed with a shy shrug. It's really simple. Come. He grabbed her hand and led her to the stall. Karui tried not to shiver with the weird chill that spread through her body when he did that. I would like 2 scoopers, please. He said to the old lady behind the goldfish tank, paying her. Hi. The woman answered, giving them their paper scooper and a bowl. So, Karui-san, we must use this thing to scoop a fish from this pool. Understood. I'll do it. She bent down to the tank, ready to pick a fish up. You must be careful because There was a small noise of paper ripping when the fish Karui had chosen escaped by making a hole in the scooper. Because the scooper is easily torn, Choji concluded. Karui frowned. It's okay. You can keep trying until the scooper is completely ruined. Okay. She readily came back to the game, only to another fish ruin her scooper 5 seconds later. Choji laughed a bit. You're not doing it right, Karui-san. Your speed it's great but you're not being careful. Look. Choji leaned in, staying way too close to her. Karui's heart started to beat faster. That's so silly, she thought with herself. I'm starting to look like Omoi. Done, announced Choji when he put a goldfish inside their bowl. Karui narrowed her eyes. I want to try again, she said to the stallkeeper. The old lady smiled and gave her another scooper. Okay, this one is on the house for the cute couple. We're not a couple, they said at the same time, blushing and looking away. So, Karui-san, try again. He spoke, still looking embarrassed. Why yeah, she stared at the tank and picked a fish. Then, breathing deeply, I did it, I got one. The old lady put her fish inside a plastic bag with water and handed it to her. Karui grabbed it and hugged Choji out of happiness without thinking. Well done, Karui-san. He complimented, petting her hair lubberly. Karui felt so tiny and fragile in his arms, and that, for her who always tried to look and act like Miss Independent, was so weird she almost didn't feel like herself. But, at the same time, she felt like she could be defenseless, she could let her walls break down when that clumsy adorable boy hugged her. Hey, he said after a few moments, the fireworks are starting in few minutes. Let's look for a nice place to watch it. Karui nodded and they let each other go. I think I know a good place. Come, Choji grabbed her hand and they walked past a lot of people, not paying attention to one. They didn't notice Tamari holding Aiko-chan in her arms while Shikamaru bought them a popsicle. They didn't saw Naruto and Hinata sitting on the grass, with Naruto trying to braid Hinata's hair. Nor they saw Samui and Ino holding a huge trophy. All they could see now was each other. In that moment, the world was theirs. Here, announced Choji when they got to a big rock where they both could sit. It's perfect. Come, let's sit. Karui climbed the rock effortlessly and sat down. Choji took a while, but soon enough he was sitting beside her. The fireworks show started. They watched in silence, they both very conscious of the other beside them. Why Karui said slowly, I think my goldfish will miss yours when I go back to my village. Choji chuckled. Yeah? You can bring your fish to visit mine whenever you want. I will make sure to keep a nice place in my house for that. Karui blushed a bit and looked away. You know I wasn't talking about the fish, right? Choji also blushed. Yeah, neither was I. Sakura grabbed another chocolate muffin and bit it with all her might. Oh, my, Hinata. You're such a great cook. These muffins are amazing, she praised. Hinata smiled shyly. Thank you very much. Oh, man, Sakura thought to herself. She's such an adorable little lady. I wish I was that delicate. She's right, Hinata, Naruto said with his mouth full. When we get married, I'm afraid I will end up weighing 680 pounds. Hinata blushed hard. Stop it, you two. Anyone can bake muffins. Well, not Sakura-chan. I remember when she started Naruto. Sakura cut him with a punch. Shut up, she yelled. They all heard a familiar chuckle. Some things never change, said Sasuke, appearing behind the small group. Sakura rose up from she was sitting and ran to hug him. Sasuke-kun, you're home, she shouted happily from his chest. Sasuke just stood there and let her hug him, petting her hair with his right, and only, hand. Oi, Teme, it's been a while, greeted Naruto. I know, but I'm here now, and I will be staying for 2 or 3 months. The newcomer said. Sakura let go of him and smiled. Come sit with us. Hinata baked his muffins. Sasuke frowned. I don't like sweet things. But he sat with them nevertheless. You have to like Hinata's muffins. They're different, said Naruto, handing his best friend a muffin. Sasuke took a bite. Wow, this is really something, right? Agreed Sakura. Hinata, you should totally open a bakery. No way. I'm super slow to bake and cooking is just a hobby, she said, eagerly shaking her hands in front of her blushing face. God, she's almost a fairy tale princess. Sakura thought. I wouldn't be surprised if Sasuke-kun suddenly. By the way, Hinata, what are you doing later? Sasuke asked. Huh, the other three said at the same time. Well, I have a few Things. I would like to ask you. Would you drop by my place this evening? The Uchiha asked, butting his muffin once more. Yeah, agreed Naruto. I would like to visit you too so. Actually, it's something I would like to do with Hinata alone. If it's alright for her, of course. Hi. I'll go, answered Hinata. Great, thank you very much. Sasuke got up. I will grab another muffin, okay? See you guys later. He left, letting a very confused couple and a scared to death Sakura behind. XXXXXXXXXXXX. So, Hinata, what did you and Sasuke-kun talk about yesterday? Asked Sakura, trying to sound casual. Hinata's cheeks lighted up. Oh, about stuff. What kind of stuff? Cut it out, Sakura. Laughed Ino. It's not like Sasuke was serious about you anyway. You have no right to be jealous. Hinata's eyes widened. Jealous? No, it's nothing like that. Sasuke and I are just friends. Close friends? The blonde teased. Sakura sighed. It wasn't like she doubted Hinata. Sakura knew the girl was head over heels for Naruto since they were kids, and they were going out seriously. And she knew that Sasuke-kun liked her, even if it was just a little. He had even kissed her twice. But now, for some reason, Sasuke, who hardly ever would ask for company, wanted to spend time alone with Hinata. And, well, Hinata was adorable in more than one way, a great cook, and there, after seeing her again without clothes at the bathhouse, the medical nin was sure that her body would never be as curvy as Hinata's. Sakura couldn't think of anyone better to a young man fall in love with. It's okay, Hinata, she said with a fake smile. I'm not jealous. I'm just curious to know what you two talked about. Hinata opened her mouth but said nothing. Let her be, forehead girl. Ino spoke as she leaned back on the tub. If you want to know so bad, ask Sasuke-kun. Mind your own business, Ino pig. Oh, it's just the pot calling the kettle black. Hey, I was just. Oh, girls, I am having a nice time here, but I should get going. Hinata excused herself, getting out the hot tub. Really? Do you have something to do? Sakura inquired. Well, Hinata's face got red. What? It's a date with Naruto? The blue-eyed teased. Hinata didn't answer and rushed to the dressing room, but her deep red cheeks left no doubt. Ino turned to Sakura with a smile. See? She all lovesick with Naruto. Not even Sasuke-kun would have a chance. I know. I'm just being silly. Really silly. Because, even though I hate to admit, Sasuke-kun is really into you. God knows why, but still. Sakura chuckled. That was Ino. Always letting her unsure if her words were a compliment or offense. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX. The weird behavior between Sasuke and Hinata went on for the next days. Every time Sakura met Sasuke, he was looking for Hinata, or waiting for Hinata, or with Hinata. In Sakura's point of view, the situation was completely off. Her anxiety had become so oppressive that she couldn't help but ask Sasuke. So, are you cutting Naruto's grass? The Uchiha stared at her, eyes widened. Huh? Because you know Hinata and Naruto are serious about each other, right? Sasuke blinked. His confusion was evident. I know. But why would that mean that I'm trying to steal his girlfriend? I just like spending time with Hinata. Well, no offense, Sasuke-kun, but you're a wooden-headed when it comes to feelings. Sakura thought. You wouldn't know love if it knocked down your door. Oh, there she is. Sasuke announced with a smile when they saw Hinata running towards them. You're late. Sorry, she said, breathless. Naruto and I were. I don't care. Come. Sasuke grabbed Hinata's wrist. Later, Sakura. Hinata tried to wave, but she was pulled away by Sasuke before she could. Sakura did what any young woman in the same situation would do. She followed them. Hey, before we go to my place, can we stop by somewhere? Sasuke was asking. Hinata nodded. They kept walking and, a few seconds later, they got in a jewelry store. Through the window, Sakura could see perfectly her beloved and Naruto's girlfriend look closely at the counter. At one point, Sasuke pointed to something that the clerk promptly picked it up and handed it to him. Sakura could not see what it was, but she deduced that he had put the jewelry in Hinata by the girl's expression. Hinata had loved whatever that was. That brought tears to Sakura's eyes. He certainly liked Hinata better than he liked her. She walked away, seeing that was a bit too much. Sakura was so focused on holding her tears back that she didn't notice where she was going. Someone bumped into her. Hey, watch it. Oh, hey, Sakura-chan. It was Naruto. Hi, she sobbed. Are you alright? He asked, grabbing her shoulders. Yes, it's just. Naruto, did Hinata break up with you? Naruto's arms fell down. What is that supposed to mean? Did he say something to you? No, it's just. Sakura took a deep breath. I think Sasuke-kun fell for her. Her friend frowned. Wah, what? He suddenly wants to spend a lot of time with her and he bought her something in a jewelry. What? Are you sure? Would you stop being so stupid? Of course I'm sure. I just saw them in a jewelry store. That's impossible. Hinata is supposed to be at a family meeting. She lied to you. See? There's definitely something going on with them. Naruto frowned again. That's weird. I didn't think Hinata knew how to lie. See? There's something wrong with this, I'm telling you. Are you sure you're not just freaking out because you're jealous? Naruto said with his eyes narrowed. Come on, don't you think it's weird for Sasuke to like someone that much? It's not just someone, it's Hinata. Everyone likes her. Sakura couldn't hold back her tears anymore. I know. It's just that. I'm not sure what Sasuke-kun's feelings about me are, and he never asked me to spend time alone with him and I'm not just jealous, I'm envious of her. Naruto opened his mouth just to close it without a word. I still think there must be an explanation to this. Hinata lying and Sasuke suddenly liking people. We should just, what? Ask them? Do you think I haven't tried? She mocked as she sat on the floor. Naruto sat down beside her. So what do you want to do, Sakura-chan? Well, what did Hinata say she will be doing tomorrow night? She told me she would use her time to clean out her closet. Sakura eyed him with pity. Naruto, Hinata is Hyuga's young lady. Do you really think she would spend her Saturday night to clean out her closet? What? Do you think she'll meet Sasuke again? I'm sure of it. Actually, I think we should go in. Naruto face-palmed himself. Please, do not say, follow and surprise them. Why? Weren't you the one who said that there's an explanation? Don't you want to find out? Let's go. Tomorrow. They always meet at the river bridge. We can hide under it and wait. Given Sakura's excitement, anger, curiosity, Naruto gave in. Oh, man, women are scary. See? They're just walking and talking. There's nothing weird about it, whispered Naruto to Sakura on the next day, as they followed Hinata and Sasuke. They're going to his apartment. You can say whatever you want, but a pretty girl and a hot guy going alone to his apartment is very suspicious. She whispered back. They were disguised as two housewives going shopping. Probably wasn't the best disguise since they were following them for so long now, but Sasuke and Hinata were so caught up in talking they didn't notice. When they got to Sasuke's building, Sakura pulled Naruto to behind a trash can. Why are we hiding if we are in disguise? Shush. They got in, come. Let's listen behind the door. As the pink-haired Kunoichi dragged him inside the building, Naruto chuckled a bit. I never knew you were such a stalker, Sakura-chan. Or is it Sasuke that mess you up that much? Shush. Listen, I think they are talking about us. By that time, they were already by Sasuke's door. Naruto sighed and listened in. She's really suspicious of something. Hinata was saying. I knew she would, Sakura is really smart. Sasuke replied. I'm serious, Sasuke-kun. Even Naruto seems to know something. Even Naruto? What's that supposed to mean? Naruto complained in whisper. Shush. Sakura whispered back. Wait, you didn't tell them anything, right? Sasuke asked, seeming concerned. No, of course not. But I can't keep this hidden any longer. I'm glad this was the last day we had to lie. Yeah, but we're in hurry, so can we just go at it now? Sure, just let me take these off. Okay, that's a bit too much. Sakura screamed, kicking the door open. Sakura, you knocked down my door. Sasuke spoke. What the heck is going on here? She asked, but before she could see or hear what was going on, Hinata casted a weird jutsu on her and she fainted. And, when she woke up, happy birthday, Sakura, all her friends shouted. Was the only thing she could come up with. Sakura got up from the sofa where was lying massaging her head. Then she noticed that she was still at Sasuke's apartment, at the living room. At least, it looked like Sasuke's. But that place had a lot of balloons, ribbons, streamers, posters and, happy birthday, Sakura, in bold letters and Eva on the wall. She said again. It's a surprise party. Are you happy? Asked Hinata hand in hand with Naruto. Babe, did you damage her brain when you knocked her out? Naruto asked. I don't know. It was the first time I used my long-range version of Jukin. Kakashi chimed in. A long-range Jukin? I didn't know that was possible. That's impress. Wait. Sakura interrupted. It's not my birthday. Ino laughed. Yes, it is. Were you so obsessed with Sasuke-kun you forgot your own birthday? See? We tried to tell you were freaking out for nothing. Sasuke and Hinata were planning all this. Naruto spoke, handing her a cup of soda. Sakura took it and started scanning the room, looking for Sasuke. She spotted him leaning against the wall, holding a can of soda while pretending to be a part of the furniture. Sakura smiled at him. You did this? We did this. He corrected, pointing to Hinata. As expected, the girl blushed. No, I didn't do much. It was Sasuke-kun who planned all this. I just helped me with the food, drinks, music, invitations, decor, and keep it all a secret. I owe you. Sakura put her hand in her forehead. Gee, I made a fool of myself. I'm so embarrassed. You should, said Sai with his usual tact. So, let's eat the cake. The party went without more doors being torn down. The food was delicious, containing all Sakura's favorite things. She enjoyed spending time with her friends. Sakura did not remember what was the last time they were all gathered. At one point, when the music had become slower and the dance floor carpet was filled with dancing couples, Sakura sat with Ino on the couch and listened to her friend whining about being single. Ino, do you mind if I take Sakura to dance? Sasuke asked, reaching out to Sakura. Well, she's boring. Wouldn't you rather take me? Ino flirted. No, he answered, straightforward. Sakura held back a laugh and took Sasuke's hand. They went to the improvised dance floor. You know, you and Sasuke-kun really look alike, the blonde said to Sai, who was sitting beside her. Back on the dance floor, Sakura and Sasuke were dancing slowly. It was a chore, you know. Keep it hidden, he said suddenly. Sakura chuckled. Sorry, but why didn't you guys tell Naruto, at least? He being in the dark only made more suspicious. Naruto? He would end up telling you. I asked Hinata to not to tell him. It was hard on her. And why Hinata? Couldn't you ask a male friend of ours to help you? Who? Hokage-sama. She can cook better than most people we know. And, well, I wanted to spend time with her. Aha, because she's dating the second most important person in the world for me, and he's hopelessly in love with her. I wanted to get to know her. Oh, and what do you think about her now? She's great, very nice, kind, can cook ramen. She's perfect for him. Yeah, I think so too. Wait, did you say, second most important person? Who's the first? Sasuke looked away. She even helped me to pick out your present. Oh, Sasuke-kun, you shouldn't have. Sasuke picked up a small box of gift and handed it to her. Happy birthday, Sakura. With trembling fingers, she undid the ribbon and opened the box. Inside was a pink gold bracelet with a cherry blossom-shaped pendant. It was beautiful. She couldn't come up with the right words. Let me help you with it. Sasuke took the bracelet and put it in her left wrist, then kissed it. Huh, Sasuke laughed. You know, maybe Hinata's jutsu did damage your brain. He pulled her closer to his chest. I love you. Sakura smiled. Thank you. He chuckled. What's this? Paying back? Yeah, maybe I should knock you out too to make us completely even. She looked up into his eyes. Grass cutter. Annoying girl. And then she was kissed for the third time. Inojin was certain about two things. First, he hated crab even though he had never ate it. Second, his dad was certainly the most powerful man in the world. Okay, he wasn't so sure about the crab thing. The only reason he didn't eat crab was because his dad didn't like it. But Inojin was 100% sure about his father. Once, when he was 4, his foot got stuck in the wheel of a cart that was being pulled by 2 unguided oxen. As soon as he cried for help, his dad jumped into the cart, took over the reins, drew a hawk to rescue him, stopped the cart and went down to get the emotionally shaken Inojin in his arms. All that in less than 10 seconds. Or other time when Inojin and Sai went hiking. When they stopped by a waterfall to refill their canteens, 4 stocky burglars approached them. Inojin watched mesmerized as his father beat them up with bare hands, without even using his pencil. And his dad was the Anbu commander. Inojin was not sure what that meant, but he knew it was important. About his mom, Inojin found her extremely beautiful and delicate. Since he was a baby, Ino used to put him in his playpen on her flower shop so she could take care of Inojin as she worked. And he could watch her move around the shop with her hair combed into a bun or in its usual ponytail, talking to customers or explaining to him the difference between Gerberas and daisies. He loved it when she cuddled him in her arms and sang him to sleep. In fact, Inojin just liked to feel his mother so close to him and the sense of security it gave, because his mother was a terrible singer. His dad was better, but he, unlike Ino, was not very comfortable to be used as bed. If Ino did the cuddling and Sai the singing, Inojin would be the happiest baby ever. But by the time Inojin learned how to talk and would finally be able to suggest that, he was already used to his mom's inability to sing or his father's bony chest. When Inojin was 7, he went with his father to work. Basically, he just sat on Sai's table and played with a few toys they had brought while his father received and wrote many reports or discussed tactics for missions with subordinate captains. Sai-sama, my team will be having a party for celebrate our success in the last mission. We would like very much if you could attend, a captain said. Sai smiled for a bit but then closed the smile and frowned. I'm sorry, Harumi-san, but I can't. I promised my wife Inojin and I would be back early. Ah, okay. You're invited anyway, please come if you can. She waved then left. Dad, if you want to go, why won't you? Inojin asked with a frown. Your mom doesn't like when I miss dinner without tell her before. And she also doesn't like Harumi-san, your mom thinks she's a. Well, I tell you when you're older. That only made Inojin frown get deeper. But why do you care if mom likes it or not, Dad? You like your subordinates, don't you? Going out with them would make you happy. Well, son, that's something you won't understand until you get married. But the only two people who can make me happy are you and your mom. All the others can do is bring me joy, not happiness. Huh? Sai smiled. It's okay if you don't get it. A lot of people don't. Let's just say that if your mom is happy, I'm happy. But what if you make her unhappy just a little bit? Sai's face got paler, if it was possible, and he looked away. Inojin was shocked. His dad was scared. If that happens, your mom would make sure that I'm unhappier, for a long time. Sai answered slowly, then he turned his face back to look his son in the eyes. Inojin, you must always avoid doing things that make your mom mad. Always. Such was Sai's intensity that Inojin had to swallow the lump in his throat before he could nod. Okay, so let's go home, buddy. You must be hungry. So, how was your day, Inojin? Did you had fun with daddy? Ino asked during the dinner. Yeah, dad took me to their dojo. It's so cool, mom. I want to be part of Anbu when get older. Yeah? Well, if you don't do better on the academy. I will do better. I will. Ino smiled and kissed her son's pale cheek. Okay, so go wait for dinner with your dad, Mr. Anbu. Inojin nodded and ran to the dinner room. To sat at their dinner table with Sai. What do we have for dinner, sweetheart? Sai asked. Ino came in carrying 2 big bowls. Well, the fishmonger sold me crab for a very small price today, so I made us some crab salad and crab soup. She placed the 2 bowls on the table and sat down. Sai put on a smile and poured himself a large portion of salad and soup, even though he hated crab. Ino poured on Inojin's bowl a portion of both dishes and then to herself. Itadakimasu, the small family said. Inojin ate all of it. He found out that crab wasn't so bad after all. As for his dad, well, he still thought that he was the most powerful man in the world, but his mom was certainly scarier. Mom, Dad, come on, wake up. Wake up, wake up, we will be late. Bolt shouted, jumping up and down on his parents' bed. Opening just one eye, Naruto reached out to his son's ankle and grabbed it, pulling him down. Shush, Bolt. He yawned without waking up. No. Dad, Mom, come on. Wake up. The little boy kept shouting, poking his parents' cheeks. The couple gave in and started to get up. I will start the breakfast, you get the kids and yourself ready. You all will wear the new clothes I bought you guys, okay? Instructed Hinata, going straight to her housewife mode from her sleepy one as she got up and wrapped a fluffy robe over her blue cotton nightie. Naruto was a little slower. He yawned, sat up, nodded to Hinata's words, petted Bolt's hair, then finally opened his eyes. Good morning, Bolt. Good morning, Bab. But Hinata had already gone to the kitchen. Alright, Bolt, let's get your sister and take a bath, he said, getting out of the bed. Yay! The boy shouted happily and ran towards his sister's bedroom. Naruto just dragged himself along, trying to get rid of the sleep blur in his eyes. Himawari, come on, wake up. Wake up, wake up. The firstling shouted, jumping on Himawari's bed. Seriously, Bolt, where does your morning energy come from? Wondered Naruto, taking Bolt off the bed and petting his daughter hair. Wakey wakey, baby girl. Himawari yawned and opened her eyes. Good morning, daddy. Good morning, Oni-chan. Come on, we will be late. Bolt dragged them to the bathroom. As Naruto prepared the bath, he took the PJs off his kids and his own. Daddy, why Oni-chan and I bathe together? Asked Himawari. You should enjoy it while you can, princess, you won't bathe together forever. He answered. Why? Well, in a few years, your bodies will. Yeah, actually, you should ask your mom about it. Himawari blinked, confused. She had entered vigorously on the why phase. Hinata, as one should expect, was dealing great with it. Naruto was trying hard but, boy, he could swear Himawari was keeping the awkward questions for him. It has something to do with the fact that I'm a girl and Oni-chan is a boy? Yeah, sort of. Why is Oni-chan a boy and I'm a girl? Naruto sighed. Ask your mom later. Why? Even with Bolt's hyperactivity and Himawari's endless questions, Naruto had managed somehow to get himself and the kids bathed and dressed in less than 40 minutes. He was pretty proud of himself. But then he got to the kitchen and saw that Hinata had already cooked the breakfast, set the table and was waiting for her family sitting there, fully dressed in a beautiful kimono and with her hair in a classy bun. Naruto felt a freaking snail. Hey, look at you guys. You're all so pretty, she greeted. Come, sit, let's eat. They all say and enjoyed a nice meal, when their kids got caught in a heated discussion about the meaning of the word epaulette. Naruto asked to his wife. How do you do that? How do I do what? That. How do you manage to be the perfect housewife and mother and do all the things so perfectly and fast while I'm just me? You are a great parent, Naruto. The kids love you, your wife loves you. That's all that matters. And about me, well, I'm supposed to be a good housewife, I was raised for that. And, Hinata blushed a little and looked away, not finishing her sentence. And, what? Tell me, he asked, touching her hand. And I always dreamed about being your wife, so I can't help but give my best at it now that my dream came true. Naruto sighed. Man, how many times do you plan to sweep me off my feet like that? Hinata laughed and rolled her eyes. Stop it and finish eating your breakfast. Meanwhile, at the Uchiha residence. Hey, Sarah-chan, it's time for wake up. Sakura called, shaking her daughter's shoulder. Sarada opened her eyes slowly, stretched and immediately started to get up. Good morning, Mom. Where is Dad? He's out for a walk, but he will be back for breakfast. Do you need Gello to get ready, Sarah-chan? No, thanks. But, Mom, since I'm starting academy today, could you stop calling me Sarah-chan? Is too childish, she said, putting her glasses on. Sakura held back her laugh. Okay, Sarada, do you want something special for breakfast? Sarada frowned in a way that made her look even more like her father. It doesn't matter. Everything you cook tastes pretty much the same. Hey, unless there's still something left of the onigiri that Aunt Hinata sent us. In that case, I will have that. Sakura sighed. Alright, get ready. She left the room and went to the kitchen. Sasuke was already there, starting the breakfast while he was eating one of Hinata's onigiri. This is pretty good. You're getting better, he said. Hinata made it. I just put it on fridge. Sasuke chuckled. That's what I meant. You're getting better at using the fridge. Sakura laughed. So, how do you feel going back to academy for your daughter's entrance ceremony? Sasuke gave it a thought. Old, weird, and proud. You can't say old. If you're old, I'm old too. You're both old, answered Sarada, stopping by on her way to the bathroom. The couple laughed. You know, straightforwardness is definitely written in Uchiha's DNA. Sakura said as she picked up a few bowls on the cabinet. Yeah, you should have known better when we got married. Our kid is going to be a little jerk, just like everyone in the family. Don't say it like it's a bad thing. She complained. How much Sarada looks like you is one of my favorite things about her. Sasuke poked her forehead. You never failed to amaze me. Sakura smiled and was about to say something back, but Sasuke was faster. I love you too, but please, stay away from the kitchen today. I don't want Sarada gets food poisoning on such an important day. Yup, there you go, straightforwardness. Mom, why are walking so much for breakfast? Asked Shikata. Shikamaru and Tamari had woken up early. Well, Tamari woke up early and angried her brains out trying to get her husband and son out of bed, got dressed in formal clothes. Well, Temari dressed them in formal wear. She was pretty sure that Shikamaru and Shikata weren't even awake that time. And now the small family was heading to a local inn to meet Choji's and Ino's families to breakfast. It's a tradition, baby. You kids are officially starting your way to become ninjas today. This is part of your welcoming to your clans. Temari explained. Right, honey? Shikamaru yawned and nodded, although he didn't really listen the question. It was a natural reflex of him after he got married to agree with Temari every time she said, right, honey? It was a great way to avoid trouble. So, until now Inojin, Chow Chow and I weren't part of our families? Wondered Shikata. Yes. Wait, no. So, this thing is just symbolic, right? Yes. Which means it's kind of pointless, right? Temari sighed. She couldn't beat that little lazy brat. Yeah, it is. Sort of. Okay, that brings us to my initial question. Why are we walking so much for breakfast? Shikamaru decided to intervene. Your Aunt Ino will be there. And she's expecting to see you there. Shikata inhaled. Is the food there any good? Shikamaru shrugged. Is edible. Edible is good. When they go to the inn, everyone else was already there. Sorry, we're late. Temari apologized as she and her family were sitting down. Oh, it's okay. You're married to Shikamaru, so your delay is expected. Ino said with a smile. Temari frowned. What is that supposed to mean, Ino-san? Oh, Temari-san. I think Ino was referring to the fact that Shikamaru is always late and hardly ever hurries to do anything. Sai explained with his blissful innocence. Yeah, but, oh, no, you two please don't start it. Shikamaru asked. Chow Chow, no one is eating yet, wait up, sweetie. Karui scolded, looking her daughter to eat an egg roll. Daddy already started, the girl pointed out. Karui stared at her husband judgmentally. Choji placed the chopsticks back on the table. Sorry. Shikata yawned and poked Inojin. Hey, I'm taking a nap. Would wake me up if something happens? Something is already happening. We're entering a great time of our lives. Inojin said enthusiastically. Aren't you proud of being the carrier of such a legacy as ours, Shikata? Shikata? But Shikata was already asleep. Oh, look, Sakura-chan and Sasuke are already here. Let's eat with them, said Naruto to his family when they got to the ninja academy. Daddy, why do you call Aunt Sakura like that if she's a grown woman? Himawari asked. Huh, it's a habit, I guess. What it's a habit? A habit is a customary behavior, you know? Like brushing your teeth with your right hand and not the left. And why is it a habit? Well, when your daddy was younger, Himawari, he used to like Aunt Sakura. Explained Hinata to the little girl in her husband's arms. Only before he married mommy, I hope. Naruto chuckled. Of course, and, FYI, no one ever got so under my skin like you do, Hinata. But mommy is not under your skin, she's right here. Why would say that, daddy? It's just an expression, baby girl. Naruto quickly said back, trying to calm her down. What is an expression? Before one could answer, Bolt shouted. Come on, why are we taking so long to sit down? More people keep coming, if we don't hurry there won't be any good places left. He was right. By then, everyone else from their group of friends were already there. The Uzumaki family rushed to seats that Sakura had saved them. They greeted everyone and soon the kids were called to a separated place to get ready. Oh, is Satoru-san? I didn't know he got married and had a kid. Spoke Hinata to Sakura. Satoru? That one that hit on you on your wedding? Sakura remembered. Wait, what? Naruto chimed in. He had a bit too much of sake that time. But he's a nice guy. I will greet him and his wife. Hinata got up. Wait a minute? Naruto got up as well and tried to stop Hinata, but saw Moegi running headlong to him. Hokage-sama, she called breathless. Not today, Moegi. The sixth agreed to replace me today so I could participate on my son's entrance ceremony. I'm here only as a father. Naruto explained. I know, Hokage-sama, that's why I'm here. Your son? He ran to the rooftop and… What? Naruto sighed. I'll go get him. Sakura-chan, please, try to keep that weird dude off my wife. Himawari, stay. There, don't move. After all the bolts were taken off the roof, the wife's perfectly safe and sound and all the welcome to the clan rites were done. The ceremony finally began. Isn't it this weird? Coming to our kid's entrance ceremony which Kakashi-sensei presiding. Naruto whispered to his best friend. Sasuke gave a half smile. It does make me feel like an old man, but this is kind of a good feeling. Yeah, I'm sure our kids will turn out to be great shinobis. Naruto added. I feel sorry for the teacher who will have to deal with Bolt's ADHD, though. Sakura remarked. Bolt does not have ADHD, he's just a very vivacious boy. Corrected Hinata, immediately standing up for her son. That made Sasuke laugh. You guys are such silly parents. Hey, Naruto complained, but he was pretty sure that Sasuke didn't listen him because Sarada just had been called to do the opening speech. In all those years he knew the Uchiha, Naruto had never seen his friend's face like that. He had a full, non-teasing, non-snobbish smile. His eyes sparkled with a mix of pride, joy and amazement. Tisk. Who is the silly parent now? He whispered when Sarada finished the speech. Sasuke rolled his eyes but sighed uprightly. In the end, I think we did great. Yeah, but I did greater than you. Teme. Shut up, Dobi. Shikamaru had never felt so sleepy in his whole life. Ever. Not even during his theoretical introduction to the maintenance of weapons classes on Academy. He and his bride-to-be were doing the seat arrangements for the wedding reception. For some reason that Shikamaru couldn't understand, Temari had become externally outraged when he said that everyone should sit wherever they wanted to. She said that was customary to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to decide if the X table was suitable for family Y. This custom was giving Shikamaru a big-time headache. So, for the main table we have you, me, your mother, your best man Choji, Kankuro and my maid of honor, Gaara. Temari announced. She took a sip of the already cold tea she had made them when they started the meeting. Shikamaru held back a laugh. Did your brother really said yes to that? Of course, he loves me. Yeah, but don't you think it's a bit humiliating for the case cage himself to be the maid of honor? Well, we can't call him bride's best man, it sounds kinky. Temari explained, then she blushed and looked down to her notebook full of tables, drawings and names. And I don't have female friends, you know that. Shikamaru petted her hair. Don't say that, there's a lot of girls who adore you. Temari eyed him skeptically. Yeah, such as. Oh, huh. Aiko-chan loves you. The blonde laughed. That's right, because a child is always the best choice to maid of honor. Shikamaru lied down on the floor and stared at the ceiling. What about Kurenai-sensei then? She sighed. I do like her, but I don't know, it doesn't feel right. The only thing that bound us is her daughter. And you, Ino, he suggested. Temari looked at him like he had just puked on the floor. What, Ino? She's a good choice, isn't she? Are you kidding me? We hate each other. That shocked him. Seriously? I thought you're friends. We're always arguing. How can you say that? Well, Sakura and Ino are always arguing. Shikamaru frowned. And they are best friends. Is not that way female friendship works? No, they are always teasing each other, not arguing. It's a completely different situation. Are you sure? I'm pretty she likes you. You should ask her. Temari narrowed her eyes. Why are you being so pushy about it? I'm not being pushy. She wasn't even my first suggestion. I just think you two should get along. You don't need to fix me up with your little lady friend just because you think I'm incapable of making friends. She snapped, suddenly getting on her feet with her arms crossed. Oh, boy, Shikamaru thought, sitting up. Temari, don't Temari me. This insistence can have two possible meanings. Or you really don't think I can make friends on my own, or you really want Ino to have a prominent function. Which one is it? Shikamaru frowned. What? Well, Ino is one of my best friends. Of course I would like her to have such a role, but that's not really my. Oh, if that's the case, why don't we ask her to be the bride? Oh, boy. Wah, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. Shikamaru scratched the back of his head. And Ino is already married, you know that. So what, now? I'm your plan B? He finally understood. Oh, my god. Are you jealous? Of Ino? She narrowed her eyes. What? Look, darling, you should know you don't have to. I've never. You know what, leave. Now. Huh? Get out. She pointed to the door so enthusiastically that her elbow snapped a bit. This is my house. He answered, getting up to face her. Temari turned around. Fine, I'll leave. She rushed to the door hearing Shikamaru talk. Temari, this is silly. Come back. She closed up her eyes and walked through the front door just to bump into someone and fall back on the floor. Ouch. Oops, I'm sorry, Temari-san, said Sai, reaching out to help her. Got up. Thanks, and it was my fault. I wasn't really looking out where I was going, she said as she got up. It's cool. I'm just to invite you guys over to dinner. Is my mother-in-law's birthday, and who's there? Asked Shikamaru, who had decided to chase after Temari, despite how troublesome that would be. Oh, hey, Sai. What's up? I was just telling your fiancé that Ino and I are throwing a small dinner to celebrate Ino's mother's birthday. It would be very nice if you, your mom and Temari-san could come. He invited with a nice smile. Oh, huh. Shikamaru was lost for words again. We would love to. Temari answered for him, and I think Yoshino-san will come too. I will ask her when she comes back from the grocery store. Sai renewed his smile. Okay, see you later, Temari-san, Shikamaru. And he left. Temari closed the front door, took off her shoes again and walked back to the living room where she was before like nothing happened. Shikamaru just followed her, too afraid to ask anything. Temari slid her index finger across the drawing of the main table. She took a breath. I think I should try to be friends with Ino. The young woman sighed. And this dinner seems like a good opportunity for that. Shikamaru was still afraid to ask, but the curiosity got the better of him. What changed your mind? He asked at the same time she leaned against him, cuddling herself on his chest. I'm not sure. I guess that seeing her husband made it pretty clear that I was being ridiculous and overreacting. Shikamaru put an arm around her and waited for her to keep talking. I know that I have no reason to get jealous of her, but I don't know. It bothers me that a pretty woman is such a big part of your life. It was Shikamaru's turn to sigh. The Akamichi, Yamanaka and Nara clans were always close. And they were brought closer by the original Inishikacho. So yes, Ino and I, by birth, are bound by tradition and friendship. He grabbed her face in his hands to look into her eyes. But you, and you alone, are the one I chose to bind myself with. You will be part of my clan's tradition too. Shikamaru brought her face even closer. You are my destiny. That softened Temari's heart. Gosh, I think that is the longest sentence I ever heard you say. She joked. You know me, I would go through all the trouble of saying it if I didn't think you're worth. The blonde smiled then kissed him deeply. I love you, I really do. But, she got up again. I gotta start getting ready soon. I have a maid of honor to get. At the dinner, Temari sat with Shikamaru near Sai and Ino. The bride-to-be really did try hard to ignore Ino's little comments that pissed her off. As for the possible maid of honor, couldn't understand why Temari wasn't responding to the picayune on the usual way. Ino didn't know how to deal with this new Temari. Okay, I will check on the dessert. You guys keep talking. The hostess of the dinner got up and went to the kitchen with a troubled face. Sai turned to Temari. So, Temari-san, are you feeling alright? The young woman blinked. Oh, I'm fine. Totally okay. You seemed a bit down when I saw you earlier, that's why I asked. She was freaking out over nothing, explained Shikamaru. That made Sai frown. That's not very nice, Shikamaru. Some things may seem little for you, but they probably mean a lot for your fiancé or she wouldn't get upset about it. I know, right? He never tries to see my point of view. Temari complained, leaning into Sai. Wait a second, that's not true. Shikamaru tried to argue, but none of them paid attention to him. Like today. Shikamaru tried to convince me to take your wife as my maid of honor. Sai was aghast. But you two hate each other. I know. How dare him, right? Temari took a deep breath. And moreover, he kept insinuating that I'm unable to make female friends. I've never said that. You said that on your own. Shikamaru complained. That's not your fault, Temari-san. It's just that women can have a hard time trying to deal with a strong-willed person like you. Temari shrugged. Or maybe I'm not too feminine. That's also not true. You've got a fierce femininity. Ino came back and sat down on her former place. She watched Sai and Temari, still caught up in lively chit-chat, for a second, then shrugged and got back to her food. Can someone explain me this? Asked Shikamaru, pointing to the tittle-tattle pair. Ino gave a half-smile. Ever since we started going out, Sai began to read women's magazine to understand me better. In the end, he became an expert in the opposite. She took a sip of her sake. I have a hard time trying to keep girls off him. But seeing him with Temari doesn't bothers me. And why it's that? She shrugged again. She is so in love for you as you are for her. After everyone went home, Temari and Shikamaru stayed behind to help with the dishes. After they were done, the host couple went to see them out. It was a very interesting night, said Shikamaru. Instructive, to say the least. Yeah, but actually, I've still got something to ask. Tamari said with a shy smile. What? She will ask Ino, in the end? Shikamaru thought, confused. Will you be my man of honor, Sai? Asked the bride-to-be. What? Asked Ino and Shikamaru in unison. I would love to. Agreed Sai. Really? Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. Me too. Actually, I just read in this month's issue of Fire Bride that Shikamaru and Ino stared at each other. Wanna come in and grab a beer? She asked. He stared again at the new pair of friends. Floral prints are super trendy. Then at Ino. Yup, beer would be good. Did you know that fathers sometimes can feel some of the symptoms of pregnancy? Sakura observed. Really? That's nice. If I start gaining weight, I will borrow your girdles. Sasuke answered, turning the page of the book he was reading. Sakura laughed and rolled over the bed to face her husband. Are you excited for tomorrow? We will finally get to know if it's a boy or a girl. Well, yes, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. I will be happy either way. Me too, but we will be able to paint the room, buy appropriate clothes, toys, bedding, and pick a name. Sasuke closed the book and lied down on the bed just to stare into Sakura's sparkling eyes. That's right. Is there any names you like? He asked, playing with her hair between his fingers. I don't know. There's a lot of names I like, but there's none that I like especially, you know what I mean? I guess. And we don't have to pick the name so early, we can just decide when the baby is born. Sakura hummed in agreement, then yawned. Let's sleep. We'll be up pretty soon tomorrow. MK, good night, honey. She yawned. Sasuke smiled a bit and pulled the blanket over them. Good night to you guys too. He had a very eerie dream. It was that kind of dream where, even though you know you're dreaming, everything felt so real that it was astounding. He and Sakura were running. Sasuke didn't know why and didn't know to where, but they were running like nothing else matters. Then something crossed Sakura's chest, leaving a huge, bleeding mass where it was supposed to be her heart. They stopped. I'm okay. She lied with a weak smile. We need to keep running. No, you need to rest and treat your wound. Sasuke wanted to say, but what he said instead was, okay. Let's go. They restarted the race, but now Sakura's breath was so loud unsteady that was nearly unbearable to be heard. Do something, help her. He tried to argue with that Sasuke in the dream. A few steps later another invisible weapon crossed abdomen. Keep running, she shouted. Please, stop. He tried to beg. Another moist sound. Another wound. Keep running. I'm okay. The Sasuke in the dream kept running for his life as Sakura crawled grievously at his side, getting more and more behind. Sasuke, she shouted in a dying voice. Sasuke. He kept running. The Sasuke in the dream only stopped running when he saw a ghost-like, bloody figure before him, staring at him with a painful look on her face. He stopped dead when he realized it was Sakura. What else? The ghost Sakura asked. What else? Sasuke. What else will you take away from me? Sasuke. He woke up just to find out that the other side of the bed was empty. He turned the lights on. Sakura? He asked. There was no answer. Sasuke sat up and noticed a small bloodstain on the sheets. His heart started to beat faster. Sakura? He called again, getting out of the bed. He listened a muffled cry coming from the bathroom, followed by a, "Oh, no, no, please don't." Sasuke started to run towards the bathroom, opened the door and got in abruptly to see his wife sitting on the cold floor amidst a blood pool. He froze. Sakura, what happened? There's so much blood. Why is there? She fell on the ground, unconscious. Without thinking, Sasuke grabbed her and flew to the hospital. Help, please. My wife, my baby, she's. The more he tried to talk, more his voice got stuck in his throat. It's okay, we will do everything we can. A doctor or a nurse or maybe Shizune. His vision was too blurry by the tears to know for sure, told him. Please, wait a moment. We will call you out in no time. They took Sakura, still unconscious, to a room. Sasuke waited standing up. He didn't know how much time passed before he was called by Shizune. How are they? He asked. Are you alright, Sasuke-kun? Do you want to sit down or a water maybe? You seem a little. How are they? He repeated insistently. Shizune sighed. Sakura is okay. She lost too much blood, so she need transfusion, and I'll keep her here for a day or two, but she will be fine in no time. Sasuke sighed in relief. Thank goodness. She scared the heck out of me. And the baby? Shizune opened up her mouth but made no sound. What happened? Will our child be okay? He pressed. Shizune took a deep breath. It was a boy, she said in a small voice. I'm so sorry, Sasuke-kun. There was nothing we could do. Sasuke leaned back on the wall. No, the belly was just getting noticeable. She was already on her 15th week. I thought that miscarriage happened before the 13th week. That's true, in 80% of the cases. It's rare, but sometimes it happens later. Sasuke slid down on the wall. Did you tell her already? He whispered. What else will you take away from me? For a second, it was like he was back to his nightmare. And he wished wholeheartedly that he was. No, not yet. I wanted to talk to you first. Sasuke ran his hands through his face so roughly he left a few scratches. He gave a dark laugh. Thank you for the consideration. Do you want to tell her yourself? Shizune proposed. Yes. Give me 5 minutes alone with her to tell her, then you come in to explain all the medical things. Sasuke sighed. The medical nin nodded. Follow me, I will take you to her room. He wasn't crying, he couldn't. The sadness that took over him wasn't the kind that couldn't be expressed by tears. It was a sorrow that couldn't be spoken, a pain that cut deep, and the cold guilt that ran his veins like ice. It was too much. Once again he had lost a loved one too soon and too sudden. Once again he would crush Sakura's heart in a million pieces. He got inside her room. Sakura didn't cry as well. She was a skilled medical nin after all. Sasuke only confirmed what she already suspected. When Shizune got in, she explained them that they hadn't found any reason to the miscarriage. It wasn't a risky pregnancy. You're both healthy, the fetus was healthy. It simply wasn't meant to be. She sighed. I'm sorry for your loss. I will leave you now. Wait, Shizune, can we see him? Sakura asked. Huh? Well, I think so. I'll see what I can do. She left the sad couple alone. They remained silent for several minutes until Sakura sighed. It was so fast. I felt cramps, ran to the bathroom and finally some tears started to run through her face. I tried to hold him in, but Sasuke couldn't think in anything to say but, I am so sorry, Sakura. He breathed. I am so very sorry. This is my fault. That shocked her, even in her grief. What do you mean? Sasuke leaned back on the chair he was sitting. He stared at the ceiling because he couldn't handle to face her now. I am cursed. I don't have any right to drag you down with me. You don't deserve this. The words of the ghost Sakura escaped his lips. What else will I take away from you? Sakura's expression changed. A light behind her eyes went off and all the color in her eyes seemed to fade. You still think that I have nothing to do with your sins, right? She asked with a heartbroken smile. Well, you don't, he answered, daring to look into her eyes. There was a deep pain on them, non-related to the lost baby, and once again he knew for sure he was the one causing it. Sasuke took a deep breath. Look, you're still young and you are beautiful. You can find another husband, someone more suited to you. Someone whose selfish behavior hasn't crushed your heart and soul so many times. You deserve better. Don't finish that sentence. Sakura commanded in an angry hiss. You deserve better. He finished. Sakura sat up with an angry look. She looked just about to punch him, but she winced and groaned in pain, taking her hands to her womb. Instinct took over and Sasuke just ran to check on her. Are you alright? He asked, holding her shoulders. No, I feel pain, cold and emptiness where before I was bearing our child. She answered firmly. Our first baby died even before he was born, and for that I grieve. Sakura breathed in slowly. But I won't let you take the pain of losing out first baby to fill yourself with loneliness again. Sasuke tried to talk, but his wife shut him with a gesture. I'm not finished. She sighed. You know, I try hard to empathize with your situation. I'm okay with you going away on trips every now and then, I'm okay with your sullen behavior, and I'm okay with the fact that it took me a long time to break down your walls. Sakura stared at him like she was getting ready to receive a punch. She looked beautiful, strong, and vulnerable. But I can't stand whenever you act like I got caught up on your problems. I love you, you're the one I've chosen to give my life and heart to, and it's not up to you to decide if you're worth it or not. I know. He cried, tears were running down his cheeks unstoppably now. But it was my fault. I know it was, I had a dream. Yes, you were shaking and grinding your teeth, it was what waked me up to see the blood, it was probably what wake you up to see me in the bathroom. If you hadn't had that nightmare, I might have bled to death. It was a wicked kind of blessing, don't you think? Sasuke made a funny noise, half sob and half chuckle. I was so scarred, he confessed, hugging her tightly. Sakura ran a hand through his hair, trying to calm him down. Don't be afraid. One thing I can tell you about fear. It always leads to hate. And being an Uchiha, Sasuke knew for sure she was absolutely right. I love you, he whispered. I know, most of the time. She answered honestly. There was a soft knock on the door. Shizune came in carrying a small box. The couple held back their breaths. Very carefully, she placed the box on Sakura's bed. Sasuke pulled it closer and ran the fingers through the box lid. May I open it? He asked to his wife. Sakura nodded and pressed her lips tight. There it was, smaller than Sasuke's hand, a teeny tiny baby that shouldn't weigh more than 3 ounces. They both closed their eyes, it was too sad. Thank you, Shizune. Sakura spoke as she placed the lid back on the box. Shizune nodded then left the room. We should name him Daichi. Sakura spoke slowly, still holding the box. Daichi means, first son. This way we will never forget him. Sasuke also placed his hand on the small box. We won't, not us, not even his future siblings. Daichi will always be the child we never got to know. Years later, Sasuke and Sarada were visiting the Uchiha grave. He felt the usual iron grip on his chest when they stopped by Itachi's grave. It's okay, Daddy. I miss my big brother sometimes too. Sarada said, putting her hand in her father's. That brought a smile to his face. Do you? Yes, and why isn't Daichi Ni buried here as well? Daichi is special, so we cremate him and fleckered his ashes on the rosebush we have back home, remember? Sarada pouted. Dad, do you think Daichi Ni would love me as much as Uncle Itachi loved you? Sasuke stroked the top of her head then grabbed her in his arm. You know, Sarah-chan, that is something that you should ask him when you finally meet. He offered her a smile. But now, how about ice cream? It was barely dawn when the second generation of Inishikacho got to Konoha's ground. Ino stretched and took a long breath. Ah, it feels good to be home. Yup, who would have thought that a simple escorting mission would take that long? Agreed Shikamaru. That princess sure likes to travel. Choji added. I don't know about you guys, but I'm dying to get home, take a hot bath and then take a nice long nap. Ino yawned. Shikamaru shook his head. That sure sounds nice, but we must report first. Well, actually, I'm not that tired. You guys can go get some rest and leave the reporting to me. Choji offered, smiling. Are you sure, bud? Asked his best friend. He nodded. Ino sighed. Thanks, Choji. We owe you. She and Shikamaru flew home and Choji went to the Hokage Tower. He gave his report to a very sleepy Kakashi, who only said something when the Akamichi was finished. Good job, you guys handled well with the long duration of the mission even though we weren't expecting that. Yeah, it was bit extenuating. Ino and Shikamaru went straight to bed. The Hokage looked close at him. But you're not tired? I've been worst. Good. Kakashi seemed to smile behind the mask. Because I have another mission for you alone. It involves another trip but I think you might like it. He gave a scroll out to Choji. This is Konoha's master plan. This copy must be handed to the Yondaime Reikage. He said, and I don't really need to see Kumo's master plan this week or on the next, so take your time. Choji smiled. Hi. He didn't say, thank you, because he thought would be a bit out of line to say it out loud, but Choji was sure that Kakashi felt his gratitude. He ran home to take a bath and dress fresh clothes and then immediately started his way to Kumo. Man, it's been a year already. He spoke to himself. A year since Karui came to Konoha with her team to deliver their master plan and, because Kakashi was absolutely terrible with schedules, Choji got the chance to know better that girl with eyes that pierced his soul. A smile that could light his worst nightmare, and there was something about her that he couldn't quite figure out what, but that one thing made him feel fuller and happier than a big bowl of pork. And the great miracle was that Karui seemed to like him back. She cared a lot about him and she would come visit every time she'd got a long break. And, above it all, it was Karui who made the first move on their first kiss. Maybe this is the right to tell her how much I love her. He thought as he got close to the village. Yeah, once for all, I will say it today. He didn't say it. And, even though Kakashi gave him a lot of time to go home with Reikage's annual year plan, he went back at the night of the very day he got there. And all that because Choji wasn't feeling comfortable next to Karui there. Well, actually, it seems like she wasn't feeling comfortable with me there. He pondered on his way back to Konoha. When Choji got to Kumogakure, he decided that was better to see the wreckage first, so after he had exchanged the annual plans, the Akamichi wondered where would he find his beloved. He didn't have to look. Karui was waiting for him outside the wreckage's office. "Hi there," she greeted with his favorite smile. "Karui," Choji exclaimed, feeling his heart get warmer. "How did you know I was here?" "I have been guarding the gates lately, so I saw you come." Karui explained. "You should have told me you're coming so I could take the day off. I must go back to my post in no time." Choji felt his spirits go down. "Oh, okay. I don't really have deadline so I don't need to go back rig. Come here," she interrupted as she grabbed his hand and ran with him to the end of the hallway. Furtively, Karui opened a random door and pushed Choji in before herself. It was a dark, small broom closet. She closed the door. "Karui, what are we?" "Shut up," the redhead said with a smile that glowed in the dark. Due the darkness, Choji couldn't see, but he felt her soft lips pressing against his, her warm hands caressing his face. The young man sighed and got lost in that sweet moment that ended too soon. "I really had to go," she whispered in his ear. "Can't we stay here a bit longer?" he asked, still holding her tight against his chest. Karui chuckled. "I missed you, but if I take longer to go back to my post Samui and Omoi would be suspicious." She pushed him away slowly. "Suspicious of what?" Karui smiled but ignored the question by giving him a key. "This is the key to my house. I live by the mountain in the west end of the village. I'll be there by night, then we can have dinner somewhere. You can't wait for me inside and feed my goldfish in meantime." "Oh okay." She gave him a light peck before opening the door. "Wait a few minutes after I'm gone to go out." Later night, Karui took him to a small, secluded tempura restaurant. Beside them, there was just an old man that was probably asleep and the small griselle owner. The food was great and they talked lively as they catched up in each other's news, but Choji noticed that every now and then Karui seemed distracted or even distant. "Are you worried about something?" he finally asked when they left the restaurant. "Huh? Oh, no, I'm fine," she answered vaguely. "Oh, hey, Karui. Long time no see," greeted C, coming from a street parallel to the one they're walking. "C, you're back," she shouted happily. The blonde shinobi walked to them with a smile. "Yes, I just got here from my mission actually. Have you seen Darui? I'm supposed to meet him." "No, I haven't," Karui answered, shaking her head. Choji just stood there, his eyes going from Karui to C, with the awkward feeling of someone who is waiting to be introduced. "I'm Choji, by the way," he said, reaching his hand out to C. The Jonin shook it. "From Konoha, I see," he said, pointing to Choji headband. "Right, yeah, alright," said Karui with an awkward smile and weird hand movements. "He's he's here to deliver and receive our village's annual master plan." C lifted his eyebrows, pleasantly surprised. "Are you her boyfriend?" Before Choji could answer, Karui denied it. No, of course not, we're just friends." C looked at them with narrowed eyes that could mean anything. It looked like Karui was nearly having an anxiety attack and Choji was inconsolable, looking at Karui like she had just slapped him. And he wished she had. "I just remembered," he mumbled, "that I have something to do back home. I need to hurry. Goodbye, C-san, Karui-san." He was gone before Karui could ask why he was being so formal. "Yeah, that pretty much proves what I've been saying all my life. Women are troublesome," Shikamaru said after his best friend told him about Karui's weird behavior. Tamari, who was sharpening a few kunais beside them, narrowed her eyes at Shikamaru. "All women but me, I suppose," she said, pointing a kunai at him. "Your picture stands for troublesome in a Pictionary, Tamari, but you are a troublesome that I happen to love." Tamari made a funny noise between a chuckle and a snort and a cute blush climbed up to her cheeks. "Please, don't flaunt your relationship in front of heartbroken man. That's very rude," Choji complained, sadder than annoyed. "Heartbroken? You? What happened? Your chopsticks ran away?" asked Ino, who overheard Choji's words when she was passing by the lawn the other three were sitting. "Talk about rude now," Tamari mumbled. Ino turned to the other blonde with her eyes narrowed. "Oh, hi, Tamari-san. How could I not see you there, since you gained some weight, right?" Tamari smiled. "And you, I really did like your clothes. You think they have adult sizes where you bought it?" Ino smiled as well. "Very funny. So, as I was saying, Well, when she is around, with her mouth open and words are coming from it, I know it's time to fleet. Tamari said, getting up. I have a long way to get home, anyway. Shikamaru got up as well. I will see her out. Before the couple disappear from view, Choji and Ino heard Shikamaru say. It's nice to see you and Ino getting along so well. Ino sat in the grass beside Choji. So, tell Ino-chan what happened. It was sunset when a very tired and emotional Choji finished the story for the second time. Let me see if I get it. She went to meet you secretly, took you to a closet to make out, didn't want anyone to see you two going out of that closet together, told you to hide in her house the whole day, chose an empty restaurant to your date, seemed really distracted the whole time and, when that cute Kumo guy asked if she was your girlfriend she enthusiastically denied? Ino listed, with her eyebrows up. It sounds even worse when someone else says it. He said, nodding. Ino sighed. Well, Choji, there's no easy way to say it, but it seems like Karui-san was ashamed of being with you because you are. Well, because I'm fat? He guessed. Ino nodded slowly. Choji also sighed. It can't be helped then. I think I will start a diet and do some sit-ups as well. Ino widened her blue eyes. What, you like her that much? Like her? Not at all, I love. Choji, there's a young woman looking for you. Informed one of Sai's ink clones. She's from Kumogakure. Karui, where is she? Choji got up right away. She said she would wait for you at the big rock. The real me doesn't know what that means. The clone said. I do. Thanks. The Akamichi answered. The ink clone disappeared. Choji looked at Ino. Do you think she's here to break up with me once for all? The blonde shrugged. Why don't you go find out? You're right, I'm going. Wish me luck. He ran to the big rock where they watched the fireworks of their first Matsuri together. Karui was there, with her arms crossed and red eyes like if she hadn't slept for one night or two. Choji, look, she started to say, but he rose his index finger to stop her. Before you say what I know what you'll say, there's something I want to tell you. Karui waited, visibly worried. Choji took a breath then. I love you, he said. I know that you don't want to hear that from a guy like me and IKN. Wait, what do you mean by that? Well, you probably came here to tell me that you don't want to see me anymore, right? What? She asked confused. Why would I? You're ashamed of me because I'm FA. He couldn't finish his sentence because she smashed her lips against his to give him a heated kiss. I love you too, Karui said, and I'm not ashamed of you. It was Choji's turn to be confused. But you took out on a date to a secluded place. That's my favorite restaurant, actually. I have tempura and they have the best. She explained. And you pushed me into a dark closet before kissing me and didn't want anyone to see us going out of that closet together. Yes, but you could also that I left my post just to see you and made out with you on Raikage's building. You told me to hide in your house. No, I told you to wait for me there. Kumogakure it's not exactly a tourist town, you would be bored in no time. And when that sea guy asked. That's what I came here to explain. She sighed. Yes, I did not wanted to meet C while I was with you but not because I'm ashamed of you but because I'm self-conscious about the way I feel when I'm around you. Karui put a hand on his cheek and smiled softly. You know, C is an extremely clever, perceptive sensorial shinobi, so I knew that he would get immediately that I love you. And he did, that's why he asked if we were dating. But then why you told him we're not? And why did you look so distant all the time? He wondered, grabbing her hand from his face and holding it. Karui narrowed her amber eyes. You never asked me to date you. And, before today, you had never told me you love me. I thought that, if you get to know these feelings of mine, you would feel trapped and scared. She sighed again. But it's harder not to love you than I thought, that's why I was so weird. Choji squeezed her hand lightly. Then do love me and I will love you back. That way you won't feel awkward by my side nor when someone asks you if we're dating. She felt her eyes get watered, so she dried them quickly with her free hand. That was a good line, you know. Karui said slowly. It could make a weaker girl cry. Choji smiled warmly. Not you, I'm sure. Nope, I'm hardcore, she answered wiping another tear. That's it, this time I'm for real. I'm going to bed, announced Hinata, getting up from the chair she was sitting on. Hanabi and Sakura exchanged a suspicious look. It was the third time the bride-to-be said that. But first, I will check my kimono again. She said, the other two sighed. Gee, one-sama, calm down already. We checked and double-checked every single detail. Everything will be fine, Hinata. Sakura reassured. So let's go to bed, it's 2 a.m. Hinata's pale eyes got wider. What, already? What am I going to do? If I go to sleep now, I will be too tired to get up on time tomorrow, but if I don't, I might fall asleep in the middle of. Sakura got up as well and walked to her friend. Hinata, I'm sorry, she said before slapping Hinata on the face. Sakura-chan, it hurts. The pink-haired frowned. Yeah, I don't feel alright as well. I just wanted to calm you down but I feel like had just kicked a baby kitty. Hanabi got up too. Ma, at least she stopped freaking out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to sleep. And if you're not up in time tomorrow, One-sama, the ceremony will go on without you. The younger Hyuga left the dining room and Sakura turned her eyes to Hinata again. Come on, get a grip on yourself. I will let you slap me on my wedding when, if. Sasuke-kun and I actually. She looked down and didn't finish the sentence. I'm sorry, Hinata whispered. How long has it been since the last time he came home? 7 months, 12 days and 20 hours, but who is counting? Sakura answered with a sad smile. You know how much I'd like to be marrying the man I love, Tomo. No, today, but. She sighed. Just relax and enjoy your wedding experience, okay? Hinata smiled shyly and nodded. Good, I'll go to bed. You're going too? Hi, I will just pour myself some tea first. Hinata answered. The medical nin stared at her, suspicious. It's okay, I just really want some tea. It will help me calm down. She explained. Sakura sighed. Okay, don't take too long, Hanayame-san. She left as well. Hinata walked to the stove, turned it on and placed a kettle full of water on it. The bride-to-be was picking the flavor when. Tisk, tisk. Green tea, it's a terrible choice if want to calm down, said a young woman with long, straight red hair who was suddenly beside her. Hinata screamed and jumped back. And that's not exactly the greeting I was expecting, you know. The woman said within. She turned to a blonde man that was looking silently at Hinata. Why don't you introduce us? It's more likely that she recognizes you than me. You are Naruto-kun's mother. Hinata realized in awe. And his father. But I thought you were. Am I dreaming or is Orochimaru using that kinjutsu again? Minato laughed quietly. Actually, we just really wanted to talk to you, Hinata-chan. Tea talk? Yes, so why don't you two sit down, I will finish the tea. Suggested the fourth. It was the weirdest experience ever. Sitting in front of her late mother-in-law, who was staring at her steadily, while her also late father-in-law poured her some tea. Thank you very much, she said bowing her head. Minato smiled. There's no need for being so formal, we're going to be a family in a few hours, right? Hinata also smiled but Kushina looked away. A Yamato Nadeshiko, A.N. Yamato Nadeshiko is an expression that means a traditional perfect lady, really? Could our son be less creative? Don't mind her, she is a bit mad because she told Naruto to marry someone like her. Minato explained. Hinata blinked. Kushina-sama is very unique, so I don't think there is someone else like her but I will work hard till you can accept me. The redhead looked at her with a suspicious expression that was very familiar to Hinata. You're trying to get my approval by flattering me, aren't ya? Hinata couldn't hold back a laugh. What's so funny? You and Naruto-kun are so much alike. She explained. Yeah, we have the same weird verbal tick, right? Kushina said, putting a hand behind her head. I think it's cute. Her husband and daughter-in-law said at the same time, what caused them to smile. Hinata went on. But it's not just that. Naruto-kun has the same oval-shaped face that you do, and, even though his eyes are the exactly same cerulean blue the Minato-sama's, the format is more like Kushina-sama's. She left an oh-so-in-love sigh escape her lips and blushing furiously when realized it. Kushina also sighed. At least he could have chosen someone easier to hate. I surrender, you're so cute, Hinata-chan. Hinata smiled, but Kushina raised an index finger as a warning. But that doesn't mean we're giving you our blessing yet. Well, I am, argued Minato. His wife stared at him with her eyes squinted. Okay, I'm not giving you my blessing yet. First I would like to ask, how did you two fell for each other? Naruto already told us that in his prayers. Seriously, sweetheart, you should stop bullying Hinata-chan just because. Minato said, resting his chin in his hands. I'm her mother-in-law, I'm supposed to bully her. Kushina answered. I don't really mind. The bride-to-be spoke. Getting your blessing is really important to me, so I will answer anything you want to ask, Kushina-sama. So, how did you fall in love with Naruto? Hinata's pale face got redder than Kushina's hair. The younger woman looked at Minato like she was asking for help. Actually, that is something that I would like to know too, Hinata-chan. He smiled. If it's not asking too much. Hinata gulped. Well, I can't barely remember a time of my life when Naruto-kun was not special to me. Before I met Naruto-kun, there wasn't anything that I really wanted. I wouldn't fight for nothing, not even myself. She told them almost whispering. My father wasn't happy with me. I wasn't happy with me, but I got used to live inside my little shell where nothing could reach me. Until I met him. In my life, there wasn't anyone like him anywhere. I had never met someone who would fight till his last breath. I had never met a person so amazing, so strong-willed, so confident. He was everything that I wanted to be. The more I watched him, more I admired him. The more I got to know him, the more he got deeper inside my heart. It still is like this. I love Naruto-kun even more every day. He was always the brightest light in my life, and now that I have finally reached him, now that I know he loves me back, Hinata teared up. I'm so happy that I just don't know what to do with myself. Kushina looked at her in awe and, for the first time, silently. Minato's smile got warmer. I know I speak for both of us when I say that we are extremely happy for getting a passionate young lady like you as a daughter, Hinata-chan. He said, reaching out to hold her hand. Welcome to our family. Hinata smiled as well. Hinata-chan? Kushina called, hesitant. Yes? She handed her 2 red camellias. One was a lapel flower and the other one a kanzashi. Minato and I wore this on our wedding. You too can wear if you like. Now the tears were really running down her face. Hi, thank you very much. Minato looked at his wife with a smirk. Oh, does that mean you are giving them your blessing? Well, of course, she shouted. It turns out she is a great woman too in her own way. The Hyuga smiled. It means a lot having Naruto-kun's beloved parents' blessings. Then she remembered someone else she would like to get blessing from. Do Minato-sama and Kushina-sama think that Jiraiya-sama would approve me too? The couple exchanged a look, then they looked at Hinata's perfectly sculpted shape, exchanged another look, then finally. He would love you, they said in unison. But we gotta run, Kushina said. Huh? You have to go already? The couple laughed a bit. Well, it's not like we have a schedule now, is it? It's you who have to run. Kushina pointed to the window. It was dawn already. Oh, my, what I'm gonna do? Hinata panicked. It's okay, Hinata-chan. You just have to wake up. The 4th Hokage reassured. Wake up? So this is a dream after all? She asked. Right away, their image began to tremble and fade away slowly. Kushina smiled and shrugged. That's something you have to find out by yourself, Hinata. Hinata, did you sleep in the kitchen? Naruto was asking, shaking her shoulders gently to wake her up. Hinata sat up. She was lying on the floor near the table, like she had fallen asleep on the middle of a cup of tea. Naruto-kun, did the wedding start without me? She asked, holding back a yawn. Naruto chuckled. That would never happen, silly. You're the bride. And, besides, it's still early. I couldn't sleep well. Anxiety. Hinata smiled. Me too. Just a couple of hours. Naruto grabbed her hand and noticed that she was holding 2 flowers accessories. Huh, what is that? Hinata looked at the 2 camellias and smiled. Your parents gave them to us, we must wear them today. Naruto also smiled. Really? Hey, I knew they would love you. Hinata looked into those joyful eyes. Shaped like his mother's, colored like his father's, and her love for him overcame her. She wrapped her arms around him and buried her face in his chest to listen his heartbeats. Wow, mom should visit more often. He joked, caressing her hair. Oka-sama, Otto-sama, Hinata thought, referring to the new parents she was about to get. Thank you very much for bringing him to this world for me. You know, Ino-san is a bit of a maniac, isn't she? Said Karui. When her husband opened his mouth to object, she added. Yeah. I know transmitting your knowledge to the kids is an important traditional thing, but going as far as wait them at school so they can't escape? That's a bit too much. Sai squirmed his face. Nah, you say that because it wasn't not you guys who had to deal with her after last time they bailed on us. Tamari laughed and put a hand on her friend's arm. Don't worry, Sai, I'll make sure your name get on the memorial stone for being married to that woman. Very funny, said Ino. getting on the field holding Shikadai's and Cao Cao's hands. Inojin was walking behind them willingly and seemed very focused already. She let go of the kid's hands, still looking at Temari. "Hey, Mom, Dad's not here. How will I train without him?" asked Shikadai. "Don't get all excited, Shikamaru will get here in no time. We will start without him," answered Ino. Temari and Karui exchanged a look then made a "it can't be helped" gesture to their kids. "You can start where we stopped last train," the long-haired blonde said, crossing her arms. "Assuming you remember. She's talking about formation number 1. Both Shikadai and Cao Cao heard Inojin say in their heads. "Inojin, since when you can communicate telepathically?" Cao Cao thought, surprised. "That doesn't matter now. Shikadai, you come closer to me. Cao Cao go behind us, and prepare to move when we get them. Cao Cao, remember to watch Uncle Sai's drawings." Shikadai thought, surrendering to his friend enthusiasm. They assumed their positions. Sai, Karui and Temari prepared as well. "I'm pretty sure that Mom and Aunt Karui will attack together as a decoy," Shikadai said in his mind. Inojin kept transmitting it. "We can't let them hit us, but we have the upper hand. They don't know we are connected telepathically. Inojin, can you warn me when they'll come?" "I think so." "Good, I will trap you guys on my shadow imitation jutsu and move us all to dodge," he warned. "There they come." "Oh, they got better," shouted Ino when the 3 kids escaped from being hit by Temari's iron fan jutsu. Choji moved his head to the side. "That's right, is Shikadai controlling them all? Not even Shikamaru could that when he was so young. It's easier when they are sharing the same mind," explained Shikamaru, who had just get there with Kakashi. "How do you know that?" Ino asked, still watching the trio closely. They were still escaping from every single hit, but it seemed like they weren't getting any space to fight back. Inojin's hand is on his forehead. He will have to learn how to that without showing external signals. The emeritus Hokage chimed in. "That's funny. I never taught him how to do that," Ino said, smiling proudly at her kid. "It seems like your terror police is working on someone, Ino," said Shikamaru. "But still really impressive, it's a C or B level jutsu." On battle, Sai drew 3 Shetland sheepdogs that started to walk towards the kids. "Now?" Inojin was asking. "Now, and pray for it to work," thought Shikadai. Inojin's body fell on the ground, mindless. "No, what is that? You can't use Shin-Tenshin no Jutsu before your targets gets immobilized," shouted his mom. "And no one is close enough to guard your body. What are you thinking, Inojin?" Karui, who was closest to him, prepared to touch his chest. What would eliminate him from that round? But she suddenly felt her body get stiff. She couldn't move. Shikadai sighed in relief. He got her. A huge hand stretched to Karui's chest. "You're out, Mom," announced Cao Cao as the other fist crushed one of Sai's dogs. Karui smiled and sat down on the ground after Shikadai released her. "It's up to you now," she said to Temari and Sai. The other 2 dogs were now getting closer to Inojin's body and, for the surprise of everyone, one of them stood protectively over the boy growled to the other. A few neck bites and hits with paw and there was only one dog. This Shetland sheepdog ran to his creator aggressively. It took long enough to Sai understand what was going on. He fell on the ground with the dog above him, his paws on his chest. "Inojin," he realized, "you transferred your mind to my drawing." The dog sort of smiled. What was a bit creepy, and licked up Sai's face before running back to his team. As he ran, his shape began to change, get bigger. When he got there, it was a bear. Sai sat up to exchange an impressed proud look with his wife. "That is pretty brilliant of him," complimented Choji. "I didn't knew it was possible to put your mind inside a drawing." "Me too. I never tried it," confessed Ino. Her light eyes were still sparkling. "You probably can't do it, Ino." Kakashi spoke. "I guess that Inojin can do it because he inherited some of Sai's skill too. That's why he could change the drawing as well. If he can also draw on his own and transfer his mind to his own drawings, Inojin will be ruthless. That is, if he don't faint due fatigue, because that must be exhausting." Shikamaru smirked and put his hands on his old gesture. Man, who could imagine he would match his parents' skills so well? It's both a waste and a blessing that our kids are born in such quiet times. Kakashi chuckled. "What's funny, Kakashi-sensei?" "Nothing. I was just remembering I said something similar about Minato-sensei's yet-to-come baby when I found out about him and he ended up facing as much or even more than the generation before him." Ino frowned. Sensei, are you cursing our kids or something? He chuckled again. No, I'm just saying that you can never know how the future will be. That's why you're right about wanting to train the kids so rigorously, Ino. Shikamaru tilted his head. Well, about that. It's good that Shikadai and Cao Cao are less eager to train than Inojin. That way they keep him from being obsessed. But his enthusiasm seemed to be what motivates the other two to do what they must. This should be a very effective team. Right then, the trio was fighting Temari. Inojin's unconscious body was behind the ink bear's back. Cao Cao had her normal-sized hands in fight position, ready to attack when Shikadai told her to, but he was still trying to get his mom on his shadow jutsu, but she was dodging it almost effortlessly. Temari made a mark with her fan on the place her son's shadow reached its stretching limit. She looked at Shikamaru. That's a bit nostalgic. I need to grown up at least 30 inches to reach her. Shikata complained out loud, but he kept trying to get her nevertheless. The bear began to change its shape again. Now it was in Big Eagle, that grabbed its controller body and flew above Shikadai's head, coming closer and closer to Temari. She looked at the eagle and brandished her still closed fan at it. Hey, 1 star should do to blow you away, Inojin. Temari tried to open her fan a bit, but a familiar sensation of restrainment overcame her. She sighed. Yeah, definitely nostalgic. Inojin was both a decoy and a way to stretch your shadow? Shikadai smiled and walked a few steps towards his mom as she, unwillingly, walked towards him as well. He stretched out to touch Temari's chest. Done. Shikadai released the jutsu and she pulled him to a hug. That's my boy. Inojin, we won. Get down. He taught. Roger that. I'm company. They lost the connection and the ink eagle exploded in the air and Inojin's body started the free fall. Sai was about to draw another bird to catch his son, but Cao Cao was faster. Baika no jutsu. She shouted. As her body expanded, she ran and lied down below Inojin. He fell on her tummy, cushioning the fall. See? Being fatty has its perks. Inojin smiled, but he was too tired to say anything, so he just lied there while she get back to her normal size. Yeah, they will definitely be an effective team. Agreed the sixth, smiling under his mask as he looked to that weary little trio. XXXXXX. As they walked home, Cao Cao was hand in hand with both of her parents. You did very well today, sweetie, so you can choose whatever you want for dinner, said Karui. Choji knitted his brows at her. Hey, weren't you the one who said that training was useless? Karui sighed. I never said it was useless, just that it isn't really urgent, there's a difference. And, after I saw Out Kid do so well on Battlefield, I got more excited about it. Cao Cao looked up, pensive. I won't complain if I get to choose the dinner, but I pretty much just did what Inojin and Shikadai told me to. Think together is pretty much what defines teamwork, baby girl, don't underestimate yourself, said her father, petting her head. And we'll teach you how to fence and you will see. Combining my kenjutsu and your dad's techniques, you will be the best Akamichi that ever lived. Karui laughed strangely. Father and daughter exchanged a concerned look. You know, maybe Mom and Aunt Ino have more in common than they know, and I don't really know if that is such a bad thing, she whispered. Choji shrugged. You know, due my position I can't agree or disagree. But he smiled and blinked an eye to her, ruining the impartial effect of the sentence. Cao Cao also smiled. What are you two talking about? Karui asked, eyeing them. About dinner. Cao Cao was quick to make up. Mom, I think I want curry for dinner. XXXXXXX. This is really what you two have in mind for chilling, wondered Temari. Yeah, both her son and husband answered. Okay, she sighed. I will try to see the point. The Nara family was lying down on the grass on a small glade in their clan forest, looking at the clouds that moved faster and faster in the sky. A few deers walked by. Temari eyed them, worried. Are you sure the deers won't attack me? I'm not a Nara by birth, she asked. Yes, Mom, we brought you here because we want to get rid of you without a trace, Shikadai said sarcastically. Temari sat up. What's up with that tone, young man? A deer approached Temari the sniffer. She screamed and got up in a jump. Shikadai and Shikamaru laughed. Lie down already, Temari. They can feel you're my mate, they won't hurt you. Temari scowled at the deer, but lied back down beside her husband. She looked at the clouds as well, still not getting the point of doing so. Wait a second, Shikamaru, you just called me mate? Mom, please, you're ruining the mood. Tamari sighed and looked around, trying to find something more interesting to look. The deer that sniffed her was now sharpening his antler on a tree nearby. She hoped he wasn't doing it to attack her. A few moments later, all the deer went away. Tamari frowned and looked up to the sky again. It was getting cloudy and grayer. It will rain, she said. Yes, Shikamaru answered. And we will stay lying down here in the rain? Yes. Is there any point to this except getting a cold? Yes. She sighed again. You two have the weirdest hobby ever. Shikamaru smiled but said nothing. A few raindrops fell on her face. Tamari squirmed her green eyes, hating the feeling. Soon enough the rain got thicker. The cold water that poured on them made even her soul freeze. God, how can they like this? She asked herself. The kunoichi tried to open up one eye just to have a particularly bulky drop hitting her cornea. She shutted it back, grumpy. Then she listened a muffled chuckle. You're having your time there watching me suffer, aren't you? She asked Shikamaru. He laughed out loud. Pretty much yeah. She lifted herself on one elbow. So there's really no point to all this except annoy me? Well, there really is something soothing about looking at the clouds, but after it started to rain I just wanted to see how long you would endure it. He explained, still laughing. Tamari narrowed her eyes at him. Shikadai was scamming this too? He fell asleep right after he told to not ruin the mood. That eased her annoyance a bit. Huh? How can he sleep under the rain like this? Shikamaru sat up. He's a very calm and well-balanced kid. He said sarcastically. Maybe it would have been better if we had left his cradle under that shelf, huh? Tamari laughed. She wanted to tell him to shut up, but what came out instead was, I love you. Shikamaru's smile got warmer. He grabbed their kid in his arms and put him on his back before standing up. Let's go home, I'm feeling my nose get stuffy. She laughed again and got up as well. Yeah, I think I will prepare us all a very warm rice porridge for dinner. They started their way home. Shikamaru reached out for her hand. I love you too. Rice porridge sounds good. Can you add some chicken? XXXXXXX. After he was finished with the dishes of the dinner, Sai sat on the living room with his new issue of his favorite women magazine. Ino got in the room and sat on the armchair angled towards him. Inojin is sleeping like a log. He really overdid himself today. Maybe I should take it easier on him, she said. Sai raised his eyes from 10 things guys say when they're not into you. I'm sorry, what was that? Ino frowned at the magazine. You know, one could think you already know everything there is to know about women now. We've been married for years now, after all. Yes, but that doesn't mean I should stop wanting to make you happy, does it? He answered. Ino didn't have time to feel touched because he added. Besides, they have these recipes for diuretics juices that make you lose up to 5 pounds, you should take a look. She sighed. Yeah, keep on reading these magazines. It was Sai's turn to frown. You're mad? Yes. You just ruined such a nice mood, she said, crossing her legs slowly. We have a mood. We had a mood, now I'm going to our bedroom. She spoke as she got up with languid moves. Sai dropped the magazine and tried to think on a coherent sentence, but all the thoughts that were crossing his mind were pictures of Ino and him on wordless actions. He followed her to their bedroom. Say, Inojin is sleeping like a log, right? He asked, closing the door behind him. Ino looked at him over her shoulder flirtatiously. That's right. Good, Sai said before running to her.
That's all for now. If you enjoy this video, then please like, share and do comments.